And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, DL Saint. Oh, man. Yeah, I know it's real late. It's real late here on the East Coast. I was just up a little later than normal doing things that I do. And as I guess the West Coast, and maybe some of y'all on the East Coast and in the middle of the country know right now, Donald Trump. Donald Trump just got hit with the RICO Act in Georgia. So I was gonna do a DL short, and I figured it would just be quicker for me just to kind of go live real quick. And this is gonna be a real quick one, guys. So, most of my team are asleep except for my Aussies. They're up, and I'm sure my South Africans are up. But yeah, most of us are out here on the East Coast. Most of us are asleep. But I wanted to just get this in real quick. There's gonna be all kinds of talk on this tomorrow. This is this and the fires in Hawaii, like Maui, are going to be the two top stories tomorrow. Um, I mean, who knows what's going to happen between now and when the sun comes up, but y'all know what it is. But yeah, Donald Trump and I think it's 19 others have been hit with the RICO Act. Um, so this is CNN Politics. They have this live ticker. Trump indicted in Georgia 2020 election subversion probe. All right. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted in the 2020 election subversion case in Georgia. Prosecutors say Trump and others joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election. That's the wording they're going to use. That's real important. There are 19 defendants named in the 41 count indictment. In addition to Trump, they include his lawyers John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, as well as former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. That's just to name a few, y'all. 19 people total, I think. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis said the 19 defendants have until noon Eastern Time on August 25th to voluntarily surrender. So, what does that mean? That means the arrest warrants. Y'all got to come in. This is not a joke. Um, this is the fourth indictment Trump is facing. The former president, who is current GOP 2024 frontrunner, has already been charged in three separate cases this year. He denies any wrongdoing and says they are politically motivated. This is not good. And I mean, y'all know I'm not a Trump guy. I mean, I've said, you know, why I gave him plenty of reasons and this and that. There's a lot of people out there who just don't understand the legal system. There's a lot of people out there who don't understand how America gets down. Trump pissed in the wrong porridge this time. I mean, we all knew this was coming. This is no surprise. What I'm surprised about, what has, was kind of got me shocked about this whole thing is they used the RICO Act against him. Right? For those who don't know, the RICO Act is what they use to break the mob. If you go in any kind of criminal organization, I mean, basically, if they can't get you for nothing else, they'll get you for RICO. They'll get you on RICO. Brother Mandrell's in the building. Man, what is good, fam? How you doing? Let me show you some love. Brother Mandrell saying he's going to jail, man. Like for real, for real. All these indictments he had, we knew this was coming. Yeah, he's going to jail. And for those who don't know, RICO, RICO, that's the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Right? This act came out in the 70s. This is what they use to break the mob. Hey, this is it. This is what they use. So if you get caught up in a RICO case, and let's just say you were the lookout, or you were just a guy who they hired to hang out and park the cars or something. That was it. You were doing it. That was it. That was your only involvement in the organization. You can do as much time as the guy who pulled the trigger or as the boss will get. It's y'all all charged with the same thing, like the full force of whatever the organization was into comes down on you. And if you got some information they want, this is how they get it out of you. This is it. Like Donald Trump is sitting on a problem. This indictment And the indictment for the documents, the above secret documents, those two cases, they ain't going nowhere. Those two cases ain't going nowhere. The other stuff, the Southern District of New York stuff, man, whatever. Um, what's the other one? I can't even keep them straight. Isn't that crazy? I can't keep them straight. So is this one? This is the election fraud one. You had the one about the secret documents. You had the Southern District of New York one. What's the other indictment I'm missing? I can't even think of the other one right now. Maybe it's because it's so late. We've talked about them all. But the only two I will be worried about is this RICO case and the secret documents. I can't believe they're hitting with RICO. Brother Mandrell, you still got PT in the morning, Airborne Hood. Always, man. I'll be up. I'll be up at dark 30 like I'm always up at dark 30. And I'm not even a morning person. There's Snake Eater, my favorite Green Beret, Brother Mandrell. You can stay up as long as you want, but you better be in formation. Hood. I'll be there. I got to get up. I got to get my daughter to school. Brother Michael's in the building like, whoa. He was hit with RICO. Yeah, man. He was hit with RICO. He got hit with RICO on this, man, which is, it's just insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. Since we're doing this, I'll just pull up a quick article. We can kind of go over it. Let's see, an hour ago, AP, Reuters had something out 14 minutes ago. Georgia charges Trump former advisor 2020 election. Let's look at that one. It was 20, no, just a few minutes ago. We'll look at this. Yeah, they hit him with RICO, man. This is just bad news. Like I know back in the day on the streets, man, if anybody we know got hit with a RICO and we knew it was a RICO, we just went ahead and had a party for him, man, because we know they about to go sit down. It's just a wrap. The only question is how much time they gonna do. You got to understand Trump he's the target of the investigation. He's the top of the pyramid. That's who they want. So it's gonna be the people they got involved in this, man. All of them are professionals. These are grown folk. They all gonna tell, man. They all gonna tell. This is Reuters. Georgia charges Trump former advisors in 2020 election case. Again, this was 2:24 a.m. August 14th. Former U.S. President Donald Trump was hit with a sweeping fourth set of criminal charges on Monday when a Georgia grand jury issued an indictment accusing him of efforts to overturn the 2020 election loss to Democrat Joe Biden. Remember, Georgia's a red state, y'all. Georgia is a red state. Brother Mike, you're right, bro. It's a wrap. It's definitely a wrap. It is definitely a wrap. I mean, like exactly, it's over now. It's no more if, it's when and how long. Yeah, he will be incarcerated, bro. Facts. They're not playing. When they come at you like this, they are not playing. For whatever the reason it is, doesn't matter. All the excuses and all the stuff you're gonna hear coming from the right, the political right, they still think this is a political game. This ain't no game, man. Like Donald Trump might not ever come out of jail, bro. Counting on a pardon that he may or may not get. Dude might never come out again. All this because of this stop the steal stuff, man. The charges brought by Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis add to the legal woes facing Trump, the front runner in the race for the Republican nomination for 2024 presidential election. This is crazy. He is the front runner. The sprawling 98-page indictment listed 19 defendants and 41 criminal counts in all. All of the defendants were charged with racketeering. So that's every person that's listed. All 19 people were charged with a felony. And whatever Trump gets, they can get. That's why RICO is so scary. People don't understand how scary RICO is, man. RICO ain't no joke. I wouldn't want to be facing a RICO case. I'm telling you that right now. Which is crazy. All of the defendants were charged with racketeering, which is used to target members of organized crime groups and carries a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. Imagine that. 20 years in prison because you caught up in this RICO. You best believe ain't them people ain't sleeping tonight. Most of them, I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of them are attorneys. Most of them are smart people. This is when you find out what people are made of. Among the other defendants were Mark Meadows, Trump's former White House chief of staff, lawyer Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman. Trump and the other defendants charged in this indictment refused to accept that Trump lost, and they knowingly and willfully joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump, the indictment says. The indictment's not going to have this stuff in there unless they can back this stuff up. It's now again, they say that you can indict a ham sandwich, but something at this level, people are going to be looking for a little bit more than just the norm. And the prosecution is definitely going to want to be able to substantiate what it is they're saying. It is a state case though. So if there's any light whatsoever at the end of the tunnel is the fact that this is a state case and not a federal case. If this were a federal case, he could forget about it. He can forget about it. Like, you about to go sit down with the rest of the gangsters. But this is a state case. State cases get all kind of convoluted. Lawyers for those names either declined to comment or did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The case stems from a January 2nd, 2021 phone call in which Trump urged Georgia's top election official, Brad Raffensperger, to find, quote unquote, find enough votes to reverse this narrow loss in the state. Y'all, everyone's familiar with that call. Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol 4 days later in an unsuccessful attempt to prevent lawmakers from certifying Biden's win. We all know about that. I mean, this is just going to be such a big thing. This investigation is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Brother Mike was like, whoa, he was here with RICO, right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Just like, I'm from Atlanta myself, and I've seen people I know personally who have been affected by a RICO case and charged. Yeah, me too, bro. RICO ain't no joke, man. When the feds unveiled that thing, man, to go after the mob, they just use RICO to break any organization, bro. Any organization. I'm talking about they hit the mob, I'm talking about, street crews out there in the drug game, talking about the cartels, talking about, just regular old gangs, right? Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, this whoever. RICO is just the way to get. If you were sitting there thinking ain't nobody gonna talk when they put that RICO on the table, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised who open up their mouth, bro. And there's only so many deals to be had. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a state case. If everybody keeps their mouth shut, maybe. But again, it depends on what they have. Man, this is crazy. This indictment is crazy. Like, so, I mean, this is really crazy. The indictment cites a number of crimes that Trump or his associates allegedly committed, including falsely testifying to lawmakers that the election fraud had occurred and urging state officials to violate their oaths of office by altering the election results. I can't believe people would do that. That's crazy. Prosecutors also cited a breach of a voting system in rural Georgia County and the harassment of election workers who became the focus of the conspiracy theories. And that's just, they were talking about stuff and, other people could have gotten hurt. That's what they're probably talking about this. I'm gonna try to read that indictment over the next couple of days, but it's a long indictment. It's like almost 100 pages. It also mentions an alleged scheme to subvert the U.S. electoral process by submitting false slates of electors, people who make up the electoral college that elects the president and the vice president. Man, they got proof of all this, man. It's going to be hard to get from under. The indictment reaches across state lines, saying that Trump advisors, including Giuliani and Meadows, advised advanced a conspiracy by calling officials in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and elsewhere seeking to change the outcomes in those states. That's what gets me. Like, well, if it crosses state lines, the jurisdiction would believe would revert to the feds. So I don't even know how that's going to work. You would think the federal government would have to get involved, just jurisdictional wise. I mean, I don't know how that works. Normally, when stuff like that happens, they put together a task force and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but it seems that they were trying real hard to keep him in office. Trump has denied any wrongdoing and accuses Willis, an elected Democrat, of being politically motivated. Okay. Trump has already pleaded not guilty in 3 criminal cases. He faces New York State trial beginning March 25th, 2024, involving a hush money payment to a porn star. Okay, that's the one I was forgetting. To Stormy Daniels. So it's the hush money one that's coming out of the Southern District of New York. And then there's another one involving I think some sort of tax fraud out of New York. And then it's the secret documents, and then this. I think that's what it is. And the Florida trial begins on May 20th in the federal classified documents case. Both cases, Trump pleaded not guilty. So yeah, we know about that. The secret document cases is just they. That's a fair case. They got him dead to rights. I don't even know why they're even going to go through the process of going through this. You would think he would just say, "Okay, let's try to strike some sort of deal," but I don't think there's a deal to be made. A third indictment in Washington federal court accuses him of illegally seeking to overturn his 2020 election defeat. Trump denies wrongdoing in this case as well, and a trial date has yet to be set. Oh, that's the one. That's the third indictment. See, I can't keep the indictments straight. I think with the Stormy Daniels one, that was the one including the tax stuff and the accounting. The books were kind of cooked or whatever. So that's Southern District of New York. Second case is out of Miami. That's the secret documents. The third indictment, this is the one in DC, and this is the one with the federal judge who's supposed to be a bulldog. And this was him illegally seeking to overturn the 2020 election defeat. All right. And then Georgia, of course, that's what we're talking about now. Right. Georgia was once, reliably Republican, has emerged as one of the handful of politically competitive states determined that can determine the outcome of the presidential elections. Yeah. So you're looking at Georgia, Florida, sometimes Florida's in there. Ohio sometimes can go, right? Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada. I mean, it's a whole lot of, battleground states. It's a whole lot of states that used to be just solid Republican. It kind of goes back and forth. And then of course we had the blue wall that went to Trump in 2016. Um, Man, this stuff is crazy. This is crazy. These two cases right here, if you're a Trump person, I'd definitely be worried about these two cases. I just don't see how Trump gets out of it. I just don't. I just don't see how he gets out of it. Right? Trump persists in falsely claiming he won the November 2020 election, although dozens of court cases and state probes have found no evidence to support his claim. Trump is saying this is not hurting his campaign. Strategists said that while the indictments could bolster Republican support for Trump, they may hurt him in next year's general election when he will have to win over more independent minded voters. Absolutely. He can forget about that. His lead over Republican presidential rivals has widened since New York charges were filed in April, according to Reuters and Ipsos polling. But in a July Reuters poll, 37% of independents said that criminal cases made them less likely to vote for him compared to 8% who said they were more likely to do so. Willis' investigation drew on testimony from Trump advisors, including Giuliani, who urged state lawmakers in December 2020 to not certify the election. The Republican state officials and even the governor, Brian Kemp, who refused to echo Trump's false allegation claims. So Giuliani was going around to the big dogs trying to get them to join Trump and saying that the election was fraudulent, that it was some sort of conspiracy and they wouldn't do it. While many Republican officials have echoed Trump's false election claims, Kemp and Rassensperger have refused to do so. Right. So, and these are the top dogs in Georgia. And Trump and the article goes on to talk about just Trump's legal trouble since he left office. Apart from the criminal cases, a New York jury may found him liable for sexually abusing and defaming the writer E. Jean Carroll and awarded her $5 million in the civil case. I mean, that is what it is. I don't know about that one, but she won the case. It is what it is. And there's a trial is set for January 15 on the second defamation lawsuit seeking $10 million in damages. Trump denies wrongdoing. I mean, this is what happens when you set yourself up there like that. You got people who just don't like you, bro. They're going to come at you every single way possible, man. I mean, it is what it is. It says Trump is also due to face trial in October in a civil case in New York that accuses him and his family business of fraud to obtain better terms from lenders and insurers. Yeah, I knew about this one. This is where he would say he will inflate how much he made to get better terms on stuff, and then he would say he made less to pay less in taxes, which was just blatant. I mean, Trump was just too loud, man. The stuff he was doing just didn't make any sense. He was just too loud. You talk, when you walk around thinking you Teflon like that, bro, somebody's gonna come see you, man. So he still has to deal with that case. And I think in that case, his family accountant actually pleaded guilty and did some time. So that's going to be the guy that's going to come out and say, yeah, he told me to do all that stuff. He told me to cook the books. So he might be looking at some problems there. See, the Trump company was fined $1.6 million after being convicted of tax fraud in New York court in December. So, hey, man, they just coming after dude, bro. They are just coming after dude. So you're going to be seeing a whole lot more stories like this tomorrow, guys. And then, this is going to be the biggest story probably for the remainder of the month and into next month. This RICO thing, bro. This RICO thing is bad, man. This is bad. If you a gangster, if you know anything about the other side of the streets, or if you part of the underworld, which is Ice-T likes to call it the underworld, shout out to Ice-T. This is what he's talking about, man. This kind of lifestyle only leads to one place, bro. You're either gonna wind up in the ground, or you're gonna wind up locked up in the system. You're gonna wind up sitting down. You're in the ground, or you're gonna be sitting down. And this, if you're gonna play with this kind of gangster, and make no mistake about it, right? This is straight gangster. The way Trump has been moving over the past 20, 30 years, straight gangster. And the fact that he just sat there and he talks about it. If he would just be quiet and not say nothing, he'll get away with it like most of the 1%ers do. But he out there rubbing it in people's faces. They're gonna have to do something to you. They're just gonna have to do something to you. And that's what's going on. Yeah, they don't like you politically. Yeah, that's part of it. They're gonna probably enjoy it that much more. Like, yeah, we don't like him, but he did break these laws. We don't like him, but they ain't got nothing to do with him not giving us these documents that we knew he had. It ain't got nothing to do with him, incriminating himself. We got him on tape saying that he broke the law. We got him on tape saying, I know these documents are illegal. And if I were president, I could declassify them, but I'm not president. So they got all that. They got his own attorney writing notes saying, yeah, this is what Trump was doing. I made it clear to him that what he was doing was illegal and we need to fix this. That's just one of the cases. Now you got this RICO. Whew. Trust and believe. A lot of them people are already talking. They already talking. Get me off this list. What do y'all want to know? I got everything you need right here. Yeah, I'll tell you what you want to hear. Matter of fact, I can let you hear it for yourself. Here go the emails right here. Here go the text messages right here. They were telling me to break the law. Here it is right here. You want to hear him say it? I got it on tape. Let me pull it up for you. Man, just get me off of this list. Hey, that's what's going on right now. That's what's going on. So we'll see how this plays out, y'all. We'll see how this plays out. Crazy. Y'all be careful out there. That's all I got to say about that. Y'all be careful out there. To my Republican friends, man, it is what it is. To you Trumpers out there, now y'all seeing how the real world works. Just like the police used to tell me, don't take this personal. You just how the system works. The police will tell you in a minute, I'm a cop and you a robber, and I caught you. This is how it goes. I go in there and talk to the DA. You know what I mean? This is what they do. In case anybody are wondering, Georgia already said they're gonna do the mug shot. They're gonna take his prints. They're gonna take his picture. They're gonna do all that. So let me get to bed. It's late, y'all. I just wanted to jump on real quick because this is going to be what everyone's talking about tomorrow, all day, every day. So I just want to get out there and jump on it first. Right. So, all right, then I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. I'm DL Saint. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.